Previously on DrakeParagon.
I don't know if you can see all these mosquitoes.
Avocados are cheaper in Greenland? How's that possible?
You're gonna love these kids.
That's sealskin. Wow, it's like leather.
When you go to church, you wear this.
The hood. That's really beautiful. Wow, look at that. A dry suit made of sealskin.
Oh my gosh.
East Greenlandic.
Yeah, ancient time.
Oh, look at the baby. I'm gonna miss this place. With the small weather window available, Jan decided to push off aboard Necessity and head for the next anchorage. We decided to stay in Paamiut at least a few days longer because we had met some new people who we wanted to interview.
This one is a lot more filled with ice. If you go there for a hike, you will see caribou as well.
Really?
Yeah. We go there hunting in caribou season, and that's from 1st of August. A lot of ice from there is like clear blue or see-through because it's a lot more compressed than other glaciers.
Are you from here?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Paamiut. My mom comes from Paamiut and my father comes from this old village, which is, 34 miles from here. I left Paamiut when I was 16 years old to go off for school. In 2006, we came back to Paamiut and lived here after we had our daughter, and we have been living here ever since. We met in Narsarsuaq. It is the southern big airport. And I was in training to be aerodrome flight information service operator. And he moved there to be a chef at the hotel there. And then we met each other there. And then I have held on to him tight enough not to go back to Denmark.
Wow.
So you live in Greenland now. You're more of a permanent resident here now than in Denmark, or?
I have my mother and father in Denmark, and my sister. I also have grandparents and stuff, but yeah, I reckon my family's here now. I've been here since 2005.
Do you visit in Denmark every year?
Not every year.
Not every year.
I think there's some years we haven't been there. But my parents also come here for visiting. So.
Your children are half Greenlandic and half Danish. How old are your children?
6 years and 3 years.
Wow. What do you do here in Greenland? Are you a chef?
I started as a chef, so I've been working here, but there's not that much work. Mm-hmm. So I just started at the police academy, so I'm in training to be a police officer now. You
want to become a police officer in Paamiut?
Yeah, I'm hoping for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Paamiut is home.
Yeah, it's good. It's good hunting, and I know there's sailing around about here now, so yeah.
Do you hunt?
Yeah, mostly caribou and muskox.
Do you have a rifle?
Yeah.
Are there restrictions on having firearms in Greenland? Can anybody buy a gun, or is it difficult to buy a gun at all?
You can go down to the store and buy one if you want to.
no
restrictions.
No
Not
restrictions.
that much. You have to have some age, I think.
You have to be 16 years old, I think. I'm not sure.
Without any training or license or application or anything, you can just go to the store and buy a rifle. It's for hunting and for protecting yourself from animals, not really from other people, though. It's guns aren't a big problem with crime or murder or.
No.
No,
It's not common.
not
at all.
common. In Denmark, are there restrictions on?
Yeah.
On.
There's restrictions. You can't buy if you don't have. I think you need to have some kind of license and stuff to buy. But I think that's because it's a hunting community and that it's so easy to get a gun up here, a rifle.
Is there any crime here in Paamiut at all?
Small scale.
Really small, yeah.
Small, yeah. There are some young people maybe doing robbery or something. And there's also alcohol-induced house spectacles.
Alcohol-related problems at homes, and sometimes when you steal a boat and go out with a boat, that happens quite a lot too.
Stealing boats.
Yeah, joyride or what you call it.
Do more people have boats and have cars?
Yeah.
Wow.
I reckon. I don't know. I think there's 90 registered cars in Paamiut at the moment.
90.
Yeah, with trucks and everything. 90. Yeah. There's just as many boats.
It seems that there are places like other towns you could only get to by water or plane. Is that
Plane, helicopter, or boat. Yeah.
That's why boats are so popular.
Yeah.
I've noticed that at the top of a lot of the mountains, there's a collection of rocks that's piled up on top of each other.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's called Inusuk. It's like a landmark, and it can be about anything. It can be a path, or a good place to fish, or a good place to hunt, or it can be anything that is a symbol of a good place to be or something.
What is the weather like in Paamiut?
I think it changes a lot from year to year. Winters are very varying. Sometimes we have very mild winters with almost no snow, but sometimes we have a lot of snow. In the wintertime, the temperatures go down, I think maximum minus 15.
That's cold.
Yeah. And in the summertime, it's also very different. 2 years ago, we had a very dry season with almost no rain and a lot of heat. With heat, I would say maybe 15 degrees or
15
something.
degrees.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it also leaves the land very dry. This summer, it has been fairly cold. We haven't had any degrees above 10 degrees, and we have had a lot of rainy days. Some people might say that Paamiut has a lot of fog.
It does.
It does. But other towns in Greenland also have a lot of fog.
How much sunlight is there in the summertime and in the wintertime?
In Paamiut, we are south of the polar circle. Above the polar circle, there's a season of no sun in the winter. And in the summertime, they have midnight sun, where the sun doesn't set.
Wow.
But Paamiut is south of that line. So we have sun all year round. But it can be for only a couple of hours in the wintertime. In North Greenland, they would have no direct sunlight in the wintertime for a month or a little over a month.
And here in Paamiut in the summertime,
We have a lot of light, but the sun sets during the summer. Even though there is no direct sunlight, if the sky is clear, it will be light all night long.
all night long.
Yeah.
Yeah, we noticed at 2 in the morning, we could see light.
Yeah.
It's so strange for me. What are the big pipes above ground that are going throughout the town? Is that water?
It is both water and plumbing.
Plumbing. Oh, sewage plumbing.
Sewage, yeah. A lot of the private houses, they have the pipes outside.
Is it easier to have it above ground, or why aren't they all underground? Do you know?
I think it's easier.
I think it's easier because you have rock underground, and then you have to blow that away. So maybe it's just easier to pull it over the ground. You know, the ground is frozen year round.
Yeah.
When you get maybe a meter down, it's always frozen. So that's hard to dig through to also and stuff like that. So there's electricity in it, so in the winter they don't freeze.
Huh.
So people use a lot of electricity to do that, also to heat them so they don't freeze in winter time.
Huh. So many of the pipes are above ground because it's just too hard to get through the solid rock.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to blow through the rock, it would be expensive, and it's between houses and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Do most of the homes in Paamiut have freshwater plumbing and sewage plumbed into the homes? Most of them do.
Yeah, but there are some that don't have. So they have like a bucket.
A bucket.
Yeah. And then they would get some water themselves.
How do they get the water then?
There are the blue small huts
I noticed that.
that you press and then water comes out.
Are there many of them throughout Paamiut?
I think there are 5 or 6.
5. You just go up and press a button and water comes out and you fill a jug and carry it back to your house or your boat.
Yeah. But most houses have connection to water and sewage.
For people who don't have sewage built into their home and they're using a tank or a bucket, how do they dispose of that? Is there a service?
There is a service that the municipality runs.
And they come and they collect it?
Yeah.
Nice. What are the most popular sports here in Greenland or in Paamiut?
I would say soccer.
Soccer.
Or football, as the rest of the world would say. Yeah. And then after it, it's handball.
What languages do most people speak in Greenland?
Greenlandic. And a lot of people do speak Danish. Some years ago, the official languages were Greenlandic and Danish, but now they have changed it, so the official language is Greenlandic now. But a lot of people do know Danish. If you want to go to a proper education or something, you have to know Danish and English. We don't have much textbooks in Greenland. When I was a child, I think it was from 3rd grade that we had Danish. And English, we started having English when I was in 7th grade, but I think they start now from 4th grade.
Do many people from Paamiut go to school here until they're 16 and then go abroad to study?
Yeah.
Continue studying.
16 now, I think it's 15 years old.
15 years.
Because they have cut 1 year off from the public school.
The public school system goes until you're only 15 years old.
15, 16. It starts when you're 5 or 6 years old. And then it goes for 10 years. If you want to go to a university, you have to attend something called gymnasium, which is similar to pre-college or high school. And it takes 3 years. And there are 4 towns in Greenland that has these gymnasiums. I went to this one, which is in Qaqortoq in South Greenland. A lot of times people go to Denmark or to other places in the world to go to school.
Do you know what percentage of the population continues their education after 16 or 15?
Maybe it's about half of the class that do something afterward.
Where do people live geographically in Greenland?
They are spread out. I think there is 16 towns, and I don't know how many small villages there are, but most of them are spread out through the west coast. And in East Greenland there are 2 towns and a number of small villages as well. I think it's due to the harsher surroundings in East Greenland that it hasn't developed as much as West Greenland.
It's hard. It's colder there.
Yeah, and also strong winds and animals. And there are a lot of polar bears as well in East Greenland.
And nobody lives in the interior at all of Greenland,
No.
right? Because it's
ice cap. There's no possibility of living there. It's only in the coast that is possible to live in. And a lot of the towns and villages are near a good source of industry or a good source of living at the end of the fjords near the water,
Good hunting spots.
hunting and
Stuff,
fishing
yeah.
spots. Yeah.
how does Paamiut compare in size to other towns and cities in Greenland? Is it one of the largest?
No, I would say Paamiut is one of the smallest towns in Greenland. The largest town, the capital, Nuuk, has over 16,000 people. 56,000 people live in Greenland. And out of those, 16,000 people live in Nuuk. And 1,500 live in Paamiut. So Paamiut is a small town.
Do many sailboats visit Paamiut?
It's not much, but I would say maybe 5 to 10 every year. I think it's a good place to cross from Canada to Greenland. It's through here.
But only 10, about 10 a year.
Yeah, I don't have any statistics, so I can't be sure on that. Maybe there are more.
When they come here, do they stay for very long, or?
Normally they sail on as soon as the opportunity is there, as soon as the weather permits. Then they sail on to South Greenland. And a lot of them go to this Prince Christian Sun as well, to go through that sun, how do you call it, to East Greenland.
Also to skip the south part of Greenland, it can be tricky with the weather and stuff, so they go up through that sun.
Prince Christian's Sound?
Yeah,
Or
Sound,
Sun?
yeah.
Sun?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll do that.
but there's a lot of ice there. I just came from down south. There were a lot of ice.
That's what I've heard, yeah. We're not planning on going through Prince Christian's Sound until mid-August, and we're hoping that by
Yeah,
then
maybe.
there'll be less ice.
It's not that long ago a Dutch family needed help to get out of the ice on a sailboat, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Do many tourists visit Paamiut? Is there a tourism industry here?
There's not much.
Not much. It's not really a tourism industry
No.
town.
No.
What are the biggest industries here? What are most of the jobs here in Paamiut?
It's the fishing industry, I
It
would
is.
say. Yeah.
When was that fish plant established here?
I would think it's from the 60s.
Wow, it's been here that long. Wow.
Before that, they would salt the fish and then put it in barrels. The very first industry would have been the whaling. Oil from the whale was sold to the rest of the world because it was used in lamps.
Yeah.
It made room for a lot of industry in the world. But this fish plant is due to the cod industry. You can really see how important the fishing industry is to a town. Paamiut has been a relatively big town. It has had almost 3,000 inhabitants, and now it has 1,500 inhabitants. And these people were here due to the cod industry, which has been stagnating or closing down in the end of 80s.
What changed? Why is it stagnating?
It's been overfished,
Right.
and some people say it's due to the Gulf Stream moving towards Iceland as well. So it doesn't bring as much fish to Greenland anymore. So there's been stronger regulations from the government of how much to deal, how much to buy from the fish.
It's amazing to hear that Paamiut is much smaller now than it used to be. So people moved.
Yeah, people move to the places where there are jobs to get.
Is there a whaling industry in Greenland and in Paamiut?
Yeah, it's not much anymore. There are some rates set by the Greenlandic government, and they tend to follow International Whaling Committee's recommendations. Mostly around here there is humpback whale. It's mostly common for Paamiut to be hunting humpback whale.
I wonder how many whales are caught each year.
I could send you a link.
Yeah.
I could find it and send you a link.
What are they used for after they're caught? For food?
For food, they sell them at the local market. The skin and meat, everything is taken.
Is any of it exported out of Greenland? No. Is eating whale meat and seal meat very popular in Greenland?
Yeah.
Is it the most popular meat? Or?
I'd say as soon as there are whale meat to be bought, it goes like 1 or 2 or 3 days maximum, then it's gone again because people buy it. But seal meat, it's also very popular. And some people have their own boats and they try to shoot the seals themselves.
Really? Wow. So hunting for seal is very popular in Greenland also.
Also fishing. And caribous are as well very popular. As soon as the caribou season starts in August, a lot of families go out hunting for caribous.
Is there a seal hunting season, or does it happen all year round?
It happens all year
All
round.
year round.
There is one, the ring seal is prohibited to hunt because I think it's threatened.
That's a particular species of seal.
There are different kinds of seals. And this particular ring seal is prohibited, but all the other seals are free to hunt,
Are the seal skins or furs or meat, is any of that exported out of Greenland? Or is that also just...
The fur.
The fur is exported?
Yeah.
What countries import seal fur from Greenland? Denmark?
Denmark, yeah.
What is the relationship between Greenland and Denmark?
Formerly, Greenland is a colony of Denmark, but now there's something called self-governing state of Greenland. There are areas that are still under Danish ministry, but a lot of areas have been taken by Greenland now. I think it's a couple of years ago that Greenlanders decided that they want to take the next step to become totally self-governing or self-independent,
Will Greenland eventually become fully independent from Denmark? Do you think that's going to happen?
At some point, I think, yeah.
Maybe in the next 10 years? Or?
That's difficult to say, but I think it will happen someday.
We are able to become independent, but a lot of Greenlanders also wish that we must be economical independent before we take that step. Greenland now is able to make decisions about the underground.
The underground, the mining?
Yeah, the mining. We didn't have that area until a few years ago. So we are able to make money out of the underground now directly to Greenland. So if that's in place, then we are on a good way to be economically independent.
They have been making trial drilling all the way through the coast.
Wow.
From here, I think we're the most southern, and then up north, the companies are making out at sea.
They're searching.
Searching here.
They haven't found it
I think
yet.
they've found some, but not enough.
Well, I guess when they do find a large amount of oil that they can collect, then it will grow the economy.
Yeah.
Right now, Greenland is partially dependent on Denmark for financial support to keep the economy going.
Yeah, there is a certain amount of money that go to the administration of Greenland from Denmark.
Do many people from Denmark live in Greenland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in Paamiut, I would think maybe 50 to 100, maybe.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have children, mixed children.
Is there much immigration into Greenland? Are there many foreigners who come here to settle in addition to Danish?
It's not much yet.
Not much.
Not much. They are predicting that if there's going to be bigger oiling or mining, there's going to be a lot of people to come and work in those fields, because Greenland is not going to be able to fully provide the industry because there's lack of people with the proper training, or a lack of people as well.
Yeah.
There's only 56,000 people living in Greenland, and there's only a number of that people who will be able to fill out those industry. So there's going to be a need of foreign workers as well.
Do many people from Greenland emigrate to other countries? Is there any emigration out of Greenland?
To Denmark mostly.
Mostly to Denmark.
Yeah. A number of people moving to Denmark each year.
And it must be easier for them because of the relationship between Denmark and Greenland for them to go to Denmark and stay. They're not considered Danish citizens.
Yes, they are.
They are. They have full Danish citizens.
Yeah.
Can they vote in elections?
They can vote for the Greenlandic representatives of the Danish government. They are 2 seats for Greenlandic politicians to join the Danish government, and also 2 seats from Faroe Islands go to Denmark as well. But if a person in Greenland moves to Denmark, they will, after a certain amount of months living in Denmark, they will be granted the same voting rights as a Danish person.
So there are no things to prevent somebody in Greenland from moving to Denmark and settling down there. Is there a military presence in Greenland?
There is going to be an Arctic Command Center in Nuuk, which will gather the Arctic Command from the Faroe Islands and Greenland. Greenland doesn't have their own military. The military is under the Danish administration. And they have jobs like looking out for the Greenlandic waters, to control the ships coming in, to see that there is no pirate work or no illegal ships bringing in illegal stuff. And to do search and rescue as well.
They have a dog sled patrol.
Dog sled?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think maybe it's 20 people or something. And they go from Paamiut, a little north from that. There's a base called Mestersvik. They patrol all the way up north to something called Station Nord to make sure that nobody comes there and try to take the land.
And they're military.
They're military, yeah, they're trained specially for that, yeah.
Can't imagine in the wintertime
It's
going
really
from
cold.
outpost to outpost
Yeah.
with your dogs. What an adventure that must be.
I'm not sure, but it's quite a few miles. It's very big.
Greenlandic music is some of the most beautiful that I've heard. What are some of the most popular Greenlandic music bands?
Rasmus Lubert is like the face out of Greenland. Or
Really?
something.
Yeah.
He might be more international than other artists. And then there are newer bands like Nanook. They have been really good at promoting their music out to the world. The Nanook have been very good at mixing modern music and the Greenlandic drum into it. You could take a look at atlanticmusic.gl. It's one of the very few record labels here in Greenland, but also the biggest one. They have introduced a lot of very good artists.
What do you think will happen in Paamiut over the next 10 years or in Greenland? Where do you see Greenland moving in the next decade?
People in Paamiut are hoping for increased industry in fishing as well as in mining or being a supply harbor for oil industry or anything that makes this town grow, because the fishing has stagnated a lot. So people are hoping for more industry in Paamiut so that it goes forward again.
Thank you so much for helping us show a little glimpse of what Paamiut and what Greenland is about and what the people and culture is like. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thanks for tea.